And as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King, and I'm delighted to welcome back to the programme Ali, entrepreneur. It's the way I remember you. Ali, welcome back to the programme. And a big thank you to Anita Nodday for setting up the interview. Ali, when we met last time, I think, was at Guadalpine Banús. I interviewed you there, and I remember of all the different things you did, and I said, how do I describe you? And you said, entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
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 I mean, born and bred. Like,
well, good to be back, Nicole.
it's really lovely to see you. You look enormously well, very tanned.
Thank you.
Lockdown has treated you well, I presume.
Absolutely. I go running and gardening every day, and it's the best thing to do if you're locked down.
I think we've had a much luckier time than most people on the planet. With all the restrictions and everything we've had here, it's nothing compared to everybody else, particularly our weather, the light, the expanse that you can just get that air and oxygen, you know, like get that oxygen going.
True, true. At least in southern Spain, we've been very, very lucky to have a good weather and being able to enjoy the weather outside, even though the couple of months of lockdown, a lot of people couldn't get out, but afterwards, lockdown has been easier on us, you know, than most other European countries.
So what did you come up with in lockdown, Mr. Entrepreneur? What have you been, what has been keeping you busy?
Well, you know, I was an entrepreneur, and you know about my project Orbitur. So we started something known as the President's Club. And the President's Club is really 10 years ago. I started, you know, as becoming...
I remember seeing it.
Yeah,
that was you.
I
remember that back in the day.
Yeah, so I was the president of my community. And the most interesting thing is nobody teaches us to be a president. And there are no books where you can learn to become a president and what to do when you are and all the problems you come across. So I started this club, and I thought, okay,
so
we really
community
share.
president, like of the buildings, and those, not like a president of Trump or president of a company.
No.
The presidents of the living communities.
Absolutely.
That always has to have that one person who gets busy with everything.
Absolutely, because there was always that knock on your door, no matter whether morning or night, that somebody needed something or something went wrong. And as the president of a community, you know, you start with no knowledge and you gain knowledge. Luckily, I had numerous friends who were presidents of one community or another. I relied on them for learning and being able to apply what I learned from them to my community. But most importantly, I thought, okay, what if we all pull together? We can create better communities amongst us. You know, the problems we have with the town halls, the issues that even we have with neighboring communities. So that's why I really created the President's Club.
No, it actually makes sense, because a lot of you could be going through exactly the same issues and filing individual petitions to have it resolved, whereas if you consolidate your efforts, you probably not only have a lot less work, but you get a lot further.
That's right. That's right. The whole idea was being able to share these issues that we have, maybe with one town hall, but even on a general level. For example, during the crisis between 2008 and 2012, one of the biggest problems communities had were debt. People who couldn't pay their community fees. And these community fees were piling up, and nobody knew how to deal with them. Nobody knew how to embargo and put the papers in through. So by talking to one administrator and one president here and there, we eventually, all of us, put our ideas together, and we came through processes that we shared with each other, and we said this one works better and this one works faster and this court works faster. So it really helped a lot of communities that at that time were helping each other and were using my platform and system.
It sounds absolutely fabulous. Can anybody become it? What kind of credentials do you ask for? Do you have to put, I suppose, the urbanization or the building that you represent, or how do people get involved?
Okay, it is very simple. We don't limit it to anybody. So even if you're an owner, you can join us. We would like everybody to become part of this community, because even as an owner, you may not be the president today, but you may become one tomorrow.
Or you may decide you want to become one from what you can learn. Exactly.
Or join the committee, or just even be part of it and help the president, not even being a president.
What has been the worst unexpected, the thing you could never have imagined that doing that cargo, taking on that responsibility would mean to you?
Well, actually, now that you've said that, I'm running a sessions now with lunch, come and have lunch with me. So I ask that very question to anybody who would like to have lunch with me as a president or a committee member. I invite them to lunch, they come to me and I ask them that same question. What is the most difficult thing that you've faced as your time as a president, and what you have advised? And it's becoming very interesting. I've only just started it 2 weeks ago.
And what's coming back so far? Is it the enormity of all the things to keep going? Because there's a lot of maintenance.
Funnily enough, both of the last two people I have spoken to said that they knew nothing about running a community when they started running for presidency. So it's the lack of knowing what to deal with. And that is the worst thing when you start the job as a president in a community, because you can read books about everything apart from being a president.
And there is no rule book to how a neighbour is going to behave themselves.
No. The only rule book that we can go by is the horizontal property law. And that at best is not, complete, and there's a lot of ambiguity in certain places. And then on top of this, we build community rules, and from community to community that is different. And then there's the community
But imposing them is another whole thing, because you don't want to go around denunciando and things. And I imagine also with the services and maintenance, it's having the right teams.
True.
Because the cost can vary from one company to another greatly.
Big time. The cost can vary. And two of the things that, one of the presidents said, it's don't look for cost cutting, look for value. Because, sometimes you cut cost and you cut service. And by cutting service, you reduce the quality. And by reducing the quality, sometimes you end up having to repair again and redo things, which will cost.
Or not have the relevant insurance policies that the workers need to cover all eventualities. In the sense, you're 100% right. It's go for the recommendation and history of service as opposed to just go for the cheapest.
Absolutely.
How are you enjoying it?
I'm really loving it. I am really loving it.
I see you putting a whole new twist on it.
Yeah.
Lunches, really jazzing this thing up.
I've been 12 years at it. So I've been doing Orbitus for 12 years, and the President's Club I started in 2013. We had the first President's Forum back in May 2013. Actually, my God, it will be now 8 years. So 2013 is when we had the first President's Forum in Don Carlos. And we followed up with a number of quarterly meetings, other presentations. We did have a spell where somebody copied our name. So we went quiet. We thought, okay, we don't want to create confusion amongst our clients. Most people know me anyway. And now I've decided to bring it back and make it more personalized. I really want to get to know presidents, and I really enjoy learning from them and also sharing their experiences with others. So we've created this opportunity for you to come and have lunch with me. I invite you to lunch, so I'm paying for it. And it will be a pleasure for any one of you to join the club. We have a Facebook group, so you can also then share your expertise or ask questions from other presidents all around Costa del Sol, and not just Costa del Sol. We're also getting people from Costa Brava, Tenerife, who are using our software or not even using our software, but they all have experience, and we all could do with sharing our expertise and experience.
Without a doubt, I think that's what the most valuable commodity is, our time, our contacts and our experience.
Knowledge.
Undeniably. Am I right to remember that you have something to do with the Toastmasters Club?
I am part of Toastmasters as well.
I remember, because you talk so eloquently. I mean, you just really sit there as if like you're just missing the whiskey and the cigar, and you're in your element.
I'll have the whiskey, not the cigar.
Not the cigar. Well, just like the idea of it, isn't it?
I know.
The whole thing of it.
The whole air of it.
So what have you got planned now? I mean, you're obviously very busy with this. Will you be travelling again, or are you happy to be seated
For
here
the
in
moment-
Marbella and just taking a bit of a rest?
For the moment, given that we're still under lockdown and with the health issues, so we're doing the President's Club only lunch, and it's a one-to-one session. So it's safe, and we're complying with the COVID restrictions. And later on, hopefully in early 2022 or later, by the summer of next year, we will start our big forums again and yearly annual meetings plus quarterly meetings where everybody can come together and we can actually have a glass of wine together and enjoy each other's company in physical format.
Well, you obviously enjoy what you do, so even if you're working all the time, I don't think you'd look at it as work in any way. I think everything for you is just a pleasant challenge, and
I love a good
what a
challenge.
nice way to be.
I love a good challenge, and I always enjoy meeting people, especially like you. And
Well,
it's always
thank you
good to
very
also
much.
meet, people I don't know and learn about them and their community.
Is there anything else you would like to share with our community before we go to a break? Because you do so many things, I don't want to miss anything out.
Absolutely. Well, all I want to ask you is go on orbitus.com. We have an area where you can register for having a lunch with me, and there's also a link to join our Facebook. So if you don't want to have lunch with me, which is free, just register for the Facebook group and join other presidents where you can ask them questions or share your expertise, answer questions, or come and have lunch.
It sounds like a plan. I'm just going to go right. I want to come and have lunch, please. I'll be a president
You're
or
invited.
something. Thank
You're
you so
absolutely
much.
invited to the next
A
lunch.
pleasure to see you. Thank you so much, Ali, for taking
Thank
time
you, Nicole.
to come and join us here in the studio. Thank you guys for watching, but don't go away. We are going to a quick break. Message from our sponsors, Linear Director, giving us great offers for those of us who live here in the Costa del Sol, and messages from our Zero Hero partners, restaurants, bars and hotels that are giving free soft drinks to designated drivers. Very cool, and very nice that the Casino Marbella has just joined in as well. Don't go away, we'll be back after the break.
Judy likes to consider herself a clever young woman, which is why she thought very carefully before choosing her insurance company. Now that she needs it, she's jolly glad she chose Linear Director, as it looks as if she might have something better to do. Why don't you be clever, like Judy? Call Linear Director on 952 14 78 34 and see which policy is best for you.
When I'm the designated driver, I think it's only fair that I get to choose a Zero Hero venue that rewards me with free soft drinks. My friends all get to choose and booze, and they feel safe going home with me. Make sure that you get your reward for being the designated driver. Why pay if you don't have to?
Out of bounds, Zero Hero partners.
Here we are, sticker going on, delighted to welcome everybody and to be part of the Zero Hero campaign. Delighted.
Zero Hero, welcome here at the Gaucho de Lanús.
We are at one. We are at one.
Welcome to Lemongrass, Doña Lola. Thank you very much.
Let it set you on your way. No time to hesitate. We are all the same. So much trouble tearing up.
Zero Hero, welcome to Portofino, Cabo Pino.
Shoot straight to your heart.
Hi guys, Kazatua is proud to welcome the Zero Heroes. So come on in and enjoy free soft drinks for anyone who is the designated driver. Thank you, Nicole.
One. We are at one.
Everyone that comes and wants to join our Zero Hero Association, they will have free non-alcoholic drinks at our venue at any time.
Hi guys, Ross here from Hogan Stand. Proud to be a member of the Zero Hero campaign. And we recommend everybody. Nobody drives drinking. Everybody who drives a car doesn't have any alcohol in their system, and we're proud to sponsor the Zero Hero program.
G-Wine is happy to be Zero Hero partner.
How cool is that? G-Wine.
No need to hesitate. Time to make a change.
That's
Clara
okay.
are proud to present Zero the Hero. Never drink and drive.
One beating heart.
McNulty's is proud to be a Zero Hero partner.
A real pleasure to meet you, Michael O'Halloran. Lovely Irish name. Welcome to Marbella Now. It's really a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you very much, Nicole.
We've been talking indirectly about you all week. I met with Chris Long, the principal of the English International College, and he talked about the Darkness into Light walk. I then went to the school and spoke to the PE teacher, Alistair, about why he wanted to support Pieta House and Darkness into Light. And then I heard your name, and we need to go to the source. And
okay.
What a great cause. Very sad that we get involved in things when it's personally related to our lives, but that's when we do things with passion, and you've certainly put a lot of passion into Darkness into Light. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, it's through the sad loss of my youngest son 11 years ago that I got involved. When he passed, I got in touch with Pieta House to see could I help out in any way. So I've been involved for about 8 years with Pieta, and as you say, I'm very passionate about it. It's very, very close to my heart, and I get very emotional about it too, so I'll warn you about that.
Pieta House existed already, obviously. This is something that is in Ireland, that is a free facility to guide those who are lost in their lives, feel alone, perhaps have tendencies to want to end their own life, not knowing how to resolve their issues. How did you find out about Pieta House?
Well, Pieta was only formed about 15 years ago. A lady called Joan Freeman, she's a psychologist, saw the problems that were arising because a lot of suicides are the result of financial difficulties. A huge amount. And if you have financial difficulties, you cannot go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist and pay them £100 an hour. So she saw this problem where people in financial difficulties without money, they were dying of suicide, so she decided that she would do something about it. She actually took a mortgage on her own home and bought a house in Lucan, the village I actually lived in Dublin, and she set it up as a centre where people could just walk in totally free of charge, off the street, no referrals needed, no doctor's notes, no nothing. If you had suicidal ideation, you heard about Pieta and you just walk in. It expanded from that, and she had to get some staff together, and to pay for the staff, because they had no other support, they started doing various fundraising events. They came up with this idea of Darkness into Light, because obviously if you're in a dark place and you want to come into the light and the sunshine. So she got this idea, and 12 years ago in the Phoenix Park in Dublin, 400 people went out to walk at 4 o'clock in the morning and raised a couple of €1,000. Within a few years, we had well in excess of 100,000 people walking in Ireland, and the last time I walked there was 2015, and in one single walk in the Phoenix Park, believe it or not, there was 20,000 people in the one walk.
But this is how the charity survives, only on funds that are raised in events such as these.
Purely on fundraising. Now they are getting subsidy from the government, and the reason it's been changed from Pieta House was because originally it was actually physically a house, and now we have 15 centres spread out all over the country.
Is it just in Ireland, or has this initiative expanded?
Pieta itself is just in Ireland, but Darkness into Life took off and went worldwide. Irish people around the world who may have been in Ireland and went on the walk went back to their countries, to America, Iceland, England, Japan, Hong Kong, all over the world. Well, I eventually came to Spain, and different individuals started in different cities. In 2016, myself and my partner Nuala were here in Spain, and for some reason or another couldn't get back to Dublin to do the walk. So I got in touch with Pieta and asked them to send me down 20 t-shirts, which they obliged. And some friends of mine came from the golf club, El Paraiso Golf Club, and we walked here in San Pedro at the unearthly hour of 4:30 in the morning. I said to the people, will you come for a walk with me? And they said yes. What time? 4:30. What? But they came, and that started it all. And it began to grow, and this year, well, things were slightly different because we couldn't have one walk with hundreds of people, but we were pretty successful insofar as we had 18 different walks from Torremolinos to Gibraltar, with practically every town.
We've come to the end of another week. Amazing, the time just flies by, particularly when you're having fun, and we have been having fun, met some amazing people, done some great things, and I look forward to doing a whole bunch more again next week and for you to join me. Take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and remember to share the shows. You can get them from the RTV Marbella website, their YouTube channel. You can also go to my YouTube channel or my website, nicoleking.es, so you can get links, you can watch them, you can share them, and I appreciate you for doing that. Take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and I'll see you again next week. Hasta entonces.
Change if we try. Just believe.